Good afternoon, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba here in the afternoon of Saturday, March 13th, 2021. Well, there was an article they wrote by a contributing NBC doctor, Dr. Vin Gupta. He's a lung doctor. And they were asking him about the vaccines and whether you're going to get 100% vaccination in the United States. And this is why when persons ask questions like this, you should answer them as truthfully as you can and without politics. His answer was, well, there's a lot of hesitancy on people to take the vaccine. And then he goes on to say, according to the latest polls that I got, 49% of Republican men said they're not taking the vaccine. Now, as a doctor, where does that statement come from? Really? Dr. Gupta, I don't know if you're related to Dr. Sanjay Gupta here in Atlanta, but how could you answer something like that and bring out the Republican men? 49% of them are not going to take the vaccine. But we need at least 70%. Well, that part you're right, and that's not going to do much. And then you say, well, we'll probably still have 1,000 people dead daily basis and 20 to 30,000 cases. Well, maybe. But what you should have said, Dr. Gupta, was, well, see, the problem with the vaccines is, and like I said in my other video, it's a matter of faith, a leap of faith. And right now, I see the medical community, the government, are being less than truthful with the American people. You're putting out there, oh yeah, Pfizer is a 94% effective here, and it's 100% against death and put you in the hospital. Now, how could you say 100%? All you have is figures that you have come up with. Now, you know that when you put those figures against reality, those figures fade in a hurry. You shouldn't, when you're talking about something like a pandemic, like you got here, figures is the last thing you use. You use them for the benefit that you're trying to do. When I use figures, I use them based on what I know is the truth. Okay? And the truth right now, Dr. Gupta and you other medical guys, and don't forget President Biden over there, you guys are being untruthful to the American people. Both the medical profession and the government is being untruthful. You should tell the American people, we need you to go on faith. And this is a leap of faith. Okay? And we know that there's a lot of you that don't want to take the vaccine for one reason or another. And like I said, when I was talking about Governor Kemp here in Georgia, that this one lady from WSB said that she wasn't taking it because she considers a vaccine, it has to be 10 years in service, and then she'll look at the record of how the vaccine did within the 10 years before she'll actually take it. And I can understand her position. I can understand the people's position of that, why should I take this vaccine when there's no guarantee of 100%? But come on, American people, there's never a guarantee of 100% for anything you do. You could say, oh, I want to be 100% safe. Really? Are you? How many of you go out the door? And how many of you have experienced an accident going out the door? You get in your car, somebody hits you, or somebody robs you. And then you also get in the car at the wrong time, say like at nighttime, and you go to get some gas at nighttime. You go to the bars at nighttime. And then that's asking for trouble. So you're telling the law of unintended consequences, say, yoo-hoo, I'm here, come and hit me. That's what I mean by asking for trouble. Okay? Like a lady here in Georgia earlier this week where she went out at nighttime, went to the gas station, and she got robbed. And some ladies get robbed in the daytime here in Georgia. You see that on TV, whether you go to channel WSB, which is the ABC, 11 Alive, which is the NBC, or CBS 46, which is the CBS affiliates here. And don't forget Fox 5, which is the Fox channel affiliate. You see all that here. But you're taking a leap of faith. Every time you get out of your house, you take a leap of faith that you're going to come back home. And it's getting to be bad because the society is disintegrating. So your leap of faith is getting to be, instead of 90%, now you may be looking at 70, 60% now because of the pandemic and the police don't want to do any actions in the area. So the bad guys are getting there more often and more bracing. And the police don't want to take any action because of the bad press they're getting. Yeah. So it's us that are paying for it. And you're dying in droves here. You're over 545,000 Americans dead on this virus. And like I told you in my other videos, and this goes to Dr. Gupta here, Mr. Vin Gupta. When you ask somebody to take a leap of faith, Dr. Gupta, and when you're telling the people that that's what you need is a leap of faith, because you don't know how these vaccines are going to react. It's too early for them. But that's the only thing you have as a stopgap measure against this virus. That's the only thing you have out there as a tool. This is not a mitigating thing. Vaccines are never mitigators. They're just tools. They're like the wall on a Greek phalanx. You know, the first line has to hold that wall. And that's what the vaccines are. The first line of defense. And like if you understand the Greek phalanx, if that first line deteriorates, it's the second and the third line, and they're not usually as good as the first line. And what they do is they rotate the people from the back to the front, from the back to the front, from the back to the front. And that's how they used to held down people like the Persians. The Romans used a turtle shield, which is basically the same type of effect. But if you, like a virus, can go to the flank left and the flank right, you defeat the phalanx and you defeat the turtle. And then you are faced with the rear line, which is the worst of the people, or the people that are so tired to go back to the rear to rest, to come back and fight some more. That's the people that get killed. And that's what the virus is doing. You're using the vaccines as a number one line of defense. But you also have to tell the American people and all the people on this planet to take a leap of faith and take them. Are they going to be good for you? Well, I would say over 50%, yes. I can't say more than 50 because I don't know how these vaccines are. They could be 70, they could be 80%. But you don't go that far. You just say, you're playing with 50-50 here. It's 50 if you don't, or it's 100 if you don't, and 50 if you do. And that's what my grandfather used to tell me. If you're going to make a decision and you're going to take a leap of faith, you take it with 50% that it's going to be good for you. And you know that there's a 100% chance it's going to come back and bite you in the derriere. And that's what Americans you have to do. There's no safety here. There's no safety net. You have passed that because you don't have a mitigating thing and process to mitigate this virus. So there's no safety net. You got to take this virus to be the first line of defense. And if you're the Greek and you get so tired, eventually the virus is going to go down your flanks. I hope this answers your question on leap of faith here. And especially people like Dr. Gupta, who's supposed to be the guy that the NBC looks on for medical questions. Really? And he answers like, 49% of the Republicans men are saying that they're not going to take this virus. What kind of question is that? You should have gone up there and says, well, this is a leap of faith, people. As a doctor, I can't condone these viruses and I can't go against these viruses. These are our first line of defense. Are they a mitigator? No. They're a stopgap thing. And we're counting on them to hold the line. But hold the line for what? Because you don't have a mitigating item to come back and get them. It's like the Greek phalanx. If you hold the line, sooner or later the other flanks, they're going to have enough people come by behind them that the other people are being so hard charging on this front line that they're going to be so tired that the other lines come back from the sides and get them. You don't have this, Americans. You're relying on one front line of defense, and the virus is going to go down your sides eventually. This is your favorite alien, and Bubba. Good day.